Hello and welcome back to RamsTalkPodcast. And you may notice we're somewhere a little bit different today. FanHub have very, very kindly let us use their box at Pride Park Stadium. So as you can see, me and the lads are here. Not Jamie, he's not committed enough, but me and the rest of the lads are here and ready to have some lovely chats about the past and hopefully talk about some fun memories that we can remind you of. So joining me today at Pride Park Stadium, firstly we've got Jacob Hackett. How are you, mate?
I'm good. It's really, really cool. Yeah, really nice to hear.
Good man. We've also got Adam Titley. How are you, pal?
I'm good. I'm enjoying the sound of the drill.
Yeah, the drill really adds to it.
Address the elephant in the
Promptly
room
started
really
soon.
quickly.
I think it's a Hoover actually. But no, in the Clouds Developments box next door, they're doing a little bit of work. You may notice Adam's not got his microphone. That's because he left it at home like a clown, so he's got to share it with Vic. So Vic, how are you, pal?
Oh, good, man. Me and Adam are boys for life, man. I got his back. I'll sort him out with him, man. No problem.
Good man. And last but certainly not least, we've got Callum Boocock. How are you, mate?
I'm all good. Long overdue in-person episode, I think. So looking forward to it.
I know, to be honest, we didn't have a lot of faith, did we, that we could actually do this in person. We spent the last couple of weeks sort of having a look at what equipment we'd actually need. Turns out we had all of it already. And this is when everyone listening goes, wow, it sounds awful today. So we'll very quickly see. But what we really want to talk about today was just to talk about basically Derby's history at Pride Park. I mean, the majority of us are sort of in our 20s. Sorry, Vic. The majority of us are in our 20s, and I think sort of my earliest memories go back to sort of when we got promoted to the Premier League and all that sort of thing. I know, Vic, you remember a few years before that. You remember a little bit of the Jim Smith days as well, which is a huge bonus because it means that we've actually got someone who can talk about us when we were good. So yeah, we're just going to talk about our favourite Derby memories, and hopefully you guys will resonate with some of these and can let us know in the comments what yours are as well. So I guess what I wanted to bring up first was first games. Now, we had a little bit of a chat, didn't we, before we started this about our first game. I have no idea what mine is. My parents are sure we played Leeds United and sure that we won. Whether we did or not, I have no idea, but I'm sure we'll find out one day. Jacob, can you remember yours?
I can't, but I have I feel so. My dad's a Leicester fan. And I'm pretty sure it would have been a Leicester versus Derby game in one of their annual 4-1 wins over us. That's how I got used to Derby. But I think my earliest memory is a pre-season friendly, sat in upper West Stand against Sunderland. Nathan Tyson scored for us in a 1-1 draw.
Wow, that's a name.
I think that was my first game that I can remember being here.
Adam, what's yours, mate?
I think mine was the 07, was it 08, 09? Whichever one was after the Premier League season. We played 08, 09. We played QPR here on Remembrance Day, I think it was, because we all got commemorative shirts. And that was my first game. I remember just being in awe of how big the stadium was. I don't really remember anything about the game except like everybody booing at the end because we lost 4-2 after being 2-0 up half time, which is probably quite a fitting start, really, to almost a decade of watching Derby. Well, over a decade now. But yeah.
Too much. Far too much.
Right, my earliest memory was a bit earlier than that. 2000. I can remember it perfectly. 2006, sat in the West Lower relegation battle. Terry Wesley was manager. We played Plymouth. Adam Boulder scored the winner. Drab game, but all I remember was the goal. And I fell in love with it afterwards. I was hooked. Despite us being in a relegation battle, which is probably similar to what we'll be in this year. So nothing's changed in 20 odd years.
We said we wouldn't talk about this year, but
listen, Derby fan, you just got to remember it's just a life of disappointment.
It took 5 minutes to go there.
and Cal, go on, what's yours?
So I was quite a late bloomer. I was one of those classic lads who didn't really have a club to support. I just kind of went to any game and just went to a football match. And then I'm sure it was, do you remember the Ipswich 4-4 in 2013?
Yeah.
I'm sure that was it because I remember going and then coming away going, is Derby always like that? and then I kind of had a couple of year hiatus, and then I came back when I went to university. My next game was, funnily enough, the Brentford 0-0 on a Tuesday night. And I was like, yeah.
You were hooked.
So, yeah, I was hooked from then. And I've gone ever since then, but I've kind of sat there going, I've gone to two polar opposites in 2 years. You couldn't really take it that far, could you?
This is the adrenaline I'm looking for.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean that to go back to that 4-4 and to go back to the lovely Hoover next door. I mean, yeah, that 4-4 was ridiculous, wasn't it? Were we 4-1 down?
Yeah, we were. Yeah, it was a comeback. Yeah, that's
McLaren half-time.
Yeah,
Just before he'd
that's
officially become manager.
Yeah.
Was he? Yeah, he had officially become manager, but he wasn't managing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Darren Wassell, wasn't it? Was it Darren?
No, Wassell came in after. Wassell,
Too long ago. This is
the Brentford game. I remember we played Brentford at their old ground, and Cyrus Christie scored, and that was when Darren Wassell was interim manager.
What a game. God, great memories. I guess we should move on to, some more modern memories. I mean, when we think about Derby's sort of best times in recent years, I think last year's quite an easy one. 13-14's another quite easy one. Are there any sort of games that stick out to you where you've come away from it and you've just never forgotten it?
I mean, there's been a few. I think for me, the one that stands out from recent years is the 1-0 win over Oxford. First game in League One. Just because of how great it felt to be back, knowing that the club was secure. Like, it just meant a lot. It was like an emotional day, regardless of the match, regardless of the score. But to win it, and to win it fairly late on, I won't forget that. That was a really good memory.
Yeah, it's Hurahan's goal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Towards the end of that game.
It's on the edge of the box, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just on the edge of the box.
I remember with that one.
South Stand.
Yeah, I remember with that one, like, because I remember Max Bird getting hacked down about 5 minutes in and be like, oh my God, is this what League One's like? Yes, it is exactly what League One's like. Adam, what's yours, mate?
I think probably the Rooney era sticks out most for me, travelling to and from Derby. And then I think to be a bit different than just saying the Birmingham game, probably go with like Fulham or Sheffield United at home. Yeah. Obviously, Tom Lawrence played a blind at that Sheffield United game, if I remember correctly. And all I can remember is Craig Forsyth receiving the ball on the edge of the box on the counter-attack and just not shooting. And I was fuming. And then all of a sudden, a second later, Lawrence would like put it in the top corner. But then probably that Fulham at home game, I thought the atmosphere was brilliant, that game. I think it was one of the last remaining home games we had, and Fulham could have won the title, I think, or gone up.
Yeah,
if they'd have won. And then I think, did Luke Plange score a brace that game? I think he might have, actually, because I remember.
I don't think he scored a brace.
Well, did he get the winner?
He might have got the winner.
Yeah,
I was going down and forgot which game we're talking about.
Fulham at home.
Plange.
Yeah, I just thought the atmosphere was great, and it was a proper good match up against a team who probably levels ahead of us in terms of ability, and we held our own, and probably was a good bit of symbolism of we can still compete at this level. And, we're back where we belong.
I think that's one of the things. Oh no, we're talking about this year again. I think that's one of the things we need to say this year, isn't it? I mean, we've look at that season, how, I guess if you look how poor our team was, not through want of trying, but we were playing academy players just coming through and ended up being clear of relegation, if not for a points deduction. So yeah, need a bit of that fight, a bit of that passion for this year. I mean, Vic, go on, what's yours?
How modern are we going? Did we talk about the 13-14?
Not this season.
A bit more modern.
What, Borough at home?
Loved it.
I'd say probably we played Stoke, wasn't it, after we just been announced administration, and we won that game. I think that was the result that the club needed at that time. Obviously, had that bad news, but everybody galvanised from that point on, and that's when you sort of felt that togetherness. So yeah, that result was pretty good. But then it wouldn't be a podcast if we didn't talk about deforestation day. I have to mention the 5-0 against Forest. Sat in that south stand. So 4 of the goals were in front of me, I think. Was it 3? No, 3 it was. Yeah, good day.
I feel like, we were all trying to be different, weren't we?
We were
all trying to be very different.
We have to talk about that game. I think I was sat just a few rows down there. I remember seeing, as it left Russell's, it was to go 3-0, was it? I think it was the fourth. It was 4-0, yeah. I could remember seeing it leave his boot and just arrow into that far right hand corner into the side net, and it's unbelievable day. It just won't ever get better than that, will it? I don't think, against them especially.
No,
it won't get better than that.
I thought Vidras was up there when he scored within the first 5
minutes.
23
seconds.
Do you know what I mean? In the first few seconds, but I think other than that, I think that's probably up there in terms of probably our modern era in Forest. I mean, I don't know when the next time we're going to play them is.
Could be a while.
Oh no.
Underrated game against them, which was one of the memories that I see quite fondly, is the 1-0 Marcus Olsen. Just because of nobody would have thought that Marcus Olsen was going to cut inside and do that. It was his weaker foot as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, right foot.
Out of nowhere, Marcus Olsen gets the winner. And I just remember hugging the stranger next to me, and I would just connect with them in that moment. And that's another. I think any game that we've beaten Forest here is going to be a fond memory, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often in
Not
recent
now.
years, does it? Cal, what's yours, mate?
So I was thinking about this on the car on the way here, and I think the Birmingham game is there with the march and everything, because I thought I've never seen a city unite so much. And then obviously the march was just, it took my breath away when I got over to the brow of the hill, and I was about halfway in the march, and you just saw the amount of sheer people. And then obviously the front and just the day, everyone then congregating on the car park outside. And then obviously having the Bielik overhead kick. And I think that was probably up there in terms of modern, just because of what it meant to all of us. But then also the game itself was actually class in terms of what happened and stuff. And I don't think Bielik's done an overhead kick like that or a goal like that since he's moved to Birmingham. So I'll probably take that memory for a long, long time.
He scored a good one in his own net last week.
You did, yeah.
Decent. I've got loads of weird memories about that game, because me and my brother turned up really early because we knew some of the lads that were sorting it all out, helped give out the flags and stuff. So we were there from the very start when there were like 20 of us there. And then it sort of grew and grew and grew, and they were all at the front. I ended up a lot further back. I was sort of near the back in the end. So yeah, like you were saying, seeing everyone sort of come across the hill and I said the hill, the bridge, and everything like that. Yeah, it was very, very cool to see. And then I had, if you remember the flag that was on the front of the ground, the Save Derby County flag, just got that. So that had rocked up at my house, and then I'd had to sort of carry that here. My parents had looked after it. It was at the club, and then we're like, we're going to have it in the stand. And I'd never had a flag in the stand. It was painfully obvious. I ended up bumping into some people. So if you're listening, Julie King, thank you for helping me. I ended up bumping into some people that I recognised off Twitter. And we sort of like had the flag and it went up. And I was like, yes, we've done it. And then it kept going up. And I ended up having to chase this flag up the stand as it ran away. And there's a really good video of like Rooney coming out of the tunnel. And you can just see the flag sprinting up the stand and me chasing it along behind it because it was running away. So yeah, that was a good day. That was a good day. I think if I was going to give my favourite game, I think 5-0's got to be up there. I mean, it's a good one. The 4-4 was going to be mine, so I'm really annoyed that it came up because I was going to give that one as well. I think probably a bit of an underrated one is that Stoke one that was mentioned as well. I think that Stoke game was really good. You know, everything was like, we're screwed basically. But I think another good one is that Blackburn game, last game before COVID. I think there's probably rose-tinted glasses a little bit with that one because of, obviously what happened. We didn't see the club for another near on 2 years.
Sibley goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, Sibley's wonder goal. Chris Martin scored a brace as well, obviously the last time we saw him in a Derby shirt. And I think that was one of those games where it just sort of clicked. We were starting to click, weren't we? And we were flying up the table at a rate of knots. We were really pushing for the playoffs. And yeah, that was a pretty memorable one. But what we have to talk about is Carlisle at home, don't we? Because I mean, I'm just looking there. The pitch looks lovely today. It definitely didn't look lovely after that game, I'll tell you that. Everyone rushing onto the pitch towards the end. I mean, it's unbelievable, isn't it? It's unbelievable. Were we all on the pitch? Did we all go on the pitch?
I weren't there.
You
weren't
there.
Working. I was working. Yeah, I was watching on the TV and then just seeing the group chat just filled with
sprinted full
videos.
Full pelt into the TV.
Literally, I've never travelled up to Derby so fast after, but I think watching the group chat, and watching all you boys watching on the TV was so cool because I was sat there going, you boys, obviously, don't get me wrong, I was extremely jealous of you guys all being there, but I think the sheer relief that it was over, but then also the elation that, it was just the picture on Sky Sports where you kind of look at it and you go, 3-4 corners were just filled with people waiting for the referee, and I was watching the referee on the TV working out when he was going to blow the whistle, and then just seeing pelt it. And I think your video, Jake, I think you were one of the first ones on, just pegging it, and you're kind of working out which player do I run at.
Well, it was funny. I mean, I'll ask you guys about it, but yeah, we sort of made our way down, and my brother who'd said, he was like, not going on the pitch, not going on the pitch, and then it hit 85 minutes. He was like, maybe I will go on the pitch. And we sort of, we slowly made our way down to the front, and we were stood on the stairs, and everyone was like, sit down! And so we all sat down. And then everyone started congregating at the front, so we ended up at the front, and then all of a sudden we were over the advertising boards, and I remember Callum Elder taking a throw-in, and he took the throw-in, and someone went, good throw, Callum, and he turned around and was like, He had no idea we were there, and the lino kept sort of checking his shoulder. I didn't even hear the whistle. I don't know if you guys
most people did.
I didn't hear the whistle. It's just the lino ran away. And so we all ran onto the pitch, and yeah, it's crazy. Saw Callum Elder get mobbed, all the lads in there. Jacob, whereabouts were you?
South Stand upper. Yeah, so I was
long way.
You had to peg it down then.
I was a late arrival. I saw everyone on the pitch, and I was there with the two lads that I was sitting next to. And I
think we bumped into each other on the way down, didn't we?
We might have done.
We did?
Yeah, we might. I mean, I don't remember too well. It was a good day. But no, yeah, I was a late arrival and just sort of kind of crawled over the advertising board, really, just sort of very slowly got
agile.
Yeah, just went and joined the big congregation in the middle of the pitch, waiting for the players to come out and seeing them up in the stands with the trophy, and then coming back out onto the pitch and everyone screaming for Ebu. Pretty much only Ebu. But no, yeah, it's just like another day that you'll never forget. I mean, for me, really, it's my first experience watching my team get promoted. Wasn't really watching back in 06-07, wasn't watching then. So luckily, really, I don't have many memories of that Premier League season. I know all about the 11 points and how tragic it was. But for me, I'm not stained up here with those memories. So to actually see us win promotion, regardless of what league it was from, to have that feeling, that it was just elation, like to see everybody together like that in that moment. That's there forever now.
I'll tell you what was interesting. You mentioned that you two bumped into each other and you don't remember. I was watching that video back that you were on about, and I saw one of my friends from school, like talking like primary school, and I watched it and I clocked him and I paused it and he's just there. And I sent it to him and I was like, "Oh, Ollie, did you see this?" And he had no idea. He didn't realise I was there either. So yes, interesting how many people you bump into in the half a second between edge of the pitch and the centre. Go on, what did you do, Adam?
I think I spent the whole game watching how many people were down at the bottom. I think the whole of the South Stand went down as soon as the half-time whistle blew for the second half. And there was no one around me come the 70th minute. Then, yeah, went down, ended up on my mate's shoulders. He was about 6'5". So probably the tallest man in Derby for a period of about 30 seconds.
Until Ebu came with the flag.
Zetterstrom just walks past it.
But no, yeah, it was just a nice day and something that I didn't go on the pitch when we beat Brighton in playoffs. I think that was the last time everybody went on the pitch, if I'm correct. So it was just nice to go on and experience that, and hopefully it's not the last promotion I see. It was quite.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm taking the podcast to a darker note. But no, I hope, it's not the last one, and hopefully there's a couple more to come in recent years. Hopefully not from League One as well. Hopefully a bit higher up, and it was just a nice moment.
I can't go back there, Adam. Don't make me go back there.
No, we can't go back to League One. Not again.
We're not talking about this
season. Promotion from League 2.
It was a really nice day, and even seeing my parents come on, who my mum was like, "I'm not going on the pitch." But then, she come on in the end, and it was nice. And then saw Laura on the pitch as well.
Big fan. We need to pan the camera.
It was just nice to see everybody on the pitch, and one of them days that I think will stay in mind forevermore. I remember the night after. Well, the night of, actually. Well, some of it, and then just seeing everywhere was packed full of Derby fans, and I think, like we mentioned about the march, and Carl mentioned about that, it's just saw the whole city come together, I think, for one day and one evening, really, for me.
You didn't come out after, though, did you, Adam?
I was out for long enough.
Yeah. Shocking behaviour. Go on, Vic.
Yeah, I was probably the first one, because obviously my seat last season was South Stand
from
row A, so I'm the first one there, but I was the last one on the pitch. So I seen everybody come down. I was like, I don't want none of that. Let everybody jump on.
They're not going on.
I've got my granddad to look after. We jumped on together at the end, which is quite a nice moment for us, because obviously he's been supporting Derby since the 60s, and we haven't really had to share many memories. We've only been going together to games for about 4 or 5 years. So that was a nice moment to share. I think I bumped into you as well, didn't I?
You did,
in the centre circle somewhere. And we got the picture of the "We Stepped Up" flag and all that. But no, it was nice. It was a surreal moment. Like you said, the city deserved it, didn't we? After everything that we've been through, the club deserved it, the city deserved it. It was nice to see happy times at Derby, because, truth be told, how many years we've been watching them, we haven't seen many. So, so it was just nice to have a day like Carlisle. It'll be one that's etched in the memory forever. As you've already pointed out about my age, I'm old enough to see the Jim Smith that day, so I can compare it to that. But no, it was a lovely day. hopefully we get to see more days like that in the future. But yeah, like they said, the good times are rolling.
They are. And Cal, what's your memory of running on the pitch, mate?
Well, yeah, in my mind. No, like I say earlier, it was weird watching it. The amount of times I've been on this pitch is probably, 3 or 4 times playing. But then with the opportunities that we've gone through and stuff like that, Jay. But then seeing that many people here, and I think the fans who've probably had, probably the most unlucky times throughout the last few years, and you kind of go, this fan base deserves an opportunity just to celebrate and here, because obviously we've gone through, like I said, with all the Jim Smith days, but that wasn't here. And you think this stadium hasn't had many good memories, as horrible as it sounds. So it's nice. It was nice just to see that. But yeah, it would be one of those that I wish I was there, but I think at the end of the day, just to be part of it, and obviously with you boys, I think it'd be hard to forget either way.
I mean, we can't talk about the actual stadium without talking about playing on the pitch. We've all played on it, haven't we?
Yeah.
Hate to flex on you all, but yeah, we've all played on this pitch. I mean,
extremely lucky.
But there's some really strange bits about it. I don't know if people know. I don't know if you guys even noticed when we played on it. It's higher in the middle, and it's sort of cambers down.
It's got two
on the
cambers.
edges,
Got two cambers,
which is very strange when you play on it. You get a speed boost if you run out wide. So that's probably why Mendes Lang looks so quick when he runs down.
Not great when you're defending and the balls are thinking, like running up an hill.
You were quite kind saying played on it, because I just struggled on it. There wasn't a lot of playing going on from me. I think it was a rude awakening to my fitness levels. So.
And yeah, you got the best photo out of all of us.
You did,
yeah.
Did I?
Yeah, you got a really nice one of you like looking out onto the pitch.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, we didn't get that. I just look like I'm having real problems in all of mine. But I mean, yeah, it's a lovely pitch. You know, I'll have to show you afterwards. Oh man, yeah. I mean, we've talked about the best memories. We have to be negative at some point, don't we? Funnily enough, we actually bumped into Kane Wilson outside. Feels like we follow him round now, but we bumped into him outside. And he was like, "Oh, lads, be positive today." But sorry, Kane, we've got to talk about some negatives, because there's been some bad times since we've been at Pride Park, hasn't there? I think before the promotion, there hadn't really been sort of any defining moments, like club-defining moments at this ground, apart from Idiakez's missed penalty, probably. I mean, can you remember sort of your worst game, your lowest point?
Yeah, I mean, there's been obviously a few games where you leave the ground seething. Mainly like the playoff games. I think when we were in the playoffs under Darren Russell, when he was in charge, we lost 3-0 at home to Hull City, and there was a team that we'd beaten 4-0 and 2-0 in the league that season, and then went back to their place in the second leg and beat them 2-0 again, and it was just such like a
Istan Hull.
that was a frustrating one. I mean, there was that when we got battered at home by Sunderland in 17-18 season. Was it 4-0?
That was bad.
That's mine.
That was 4-1. Vidra scored.
Right, yeah.
That was my girl's first ever derby game.
Oh no, bless her.
Yeah.
Lucky girl.
This is where I go weekly.
But yeah, there's definitely there's a few too many. I don't really want to think about them anymore. I'll let someone else do the talking.
Go on, Ad. You must have one. You must have
Mine would probably be, it's a toss up between, like we've just mentioned, but I think probably Reading when we lost at home. My first full season as a season ticket holder, I had a half season ticket in the 13-14 season, so I kind of got the full experience of home and away that year, and to see it just come crashing down. I thought we were going up that year. Didn't we play Fulham away and we beat them like 5-2 that year? And I thought, oh, we're flying here, we're going to do it. And then to lose that, and then the 3-0 Hull one wasn't it's hard to take, because I thought we actually played pretty well in a 3-0 loss, but that 3-0 Reading, I couldn't believe it.
Hughes' pass.
Well,
Do you remember the back pass?
It was just, I remember stood there and I turned to me mum and dad and went to the players going to do a lap of honour. I was that young, I thought they were going to come back out and have a walk around. And then I think we were the last people in the ground. But yeah, that one was when probably after the Zamora. That was probably, I was like, oh, sort of a terrible moment. I know.
That was my favourite game at Pride Park. Got a bit bigger that day. I tell you what, I don't know about you lads, my arm's knackered. I keep swapping arms.
We're not used to this. I'm used to it in a stand here.
Me and Adam have got breaks.
Next time, you've got to bring your mic. We can put stands up and it'll be way easier. Go on, Vic. What's a moment? Have we got one that's before? So, in fact, I'll tell you what, that Reading one was a long time ago now. I was just thinking, that's nearly 10 years ago.
To be fair, you could probably say any home game in the last 10 years. Nah, there's one that most recently sticks out, and I think it's just purely probably because of the referee performance, was Port Vale. That was probably that was the worst refereeing performance I've ever seen in my life. But then we didn't turn up either.
No.
And losing to Port Vale with the run we were on at that time.
That was bad.
It was just like a culmination of everything going wrong on the same day. So that would be more recent. I remember one game. I think it was Reading again. I think we were like 4-0 or 4-1 down after like 50 minutes. This was when I think Chris Martin got the second goal. I'd left at this point. That was the first time I've ever left Pride Park early, and probably the only time. But I remember it was like 4-1 down. I can't remember what season it was. I was like, yeah, it's not going to get any better. Then Chris Martin scored. There's a bit of a saving grace, but we still got battered. So Reading seemed to be a bogey team for us at Pride Park, didn't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, that and the Port Vale game. Less said about that, the better.
Go on, Carl.
Port Vale was bad. I'll throw another one out to you. That the Bielsa Lampard first Leeds encounter, just because I thought we looked honking against them. They looked so good. And we looked just miles off. And I was sat there going, we had Wilson, we had Mount, and everyone was on the bandwagon going, we could be up there. And then Leeds just came and put us to the sword.
Lawrence scored that free kick, didn't he?
That's
Did he
it,
equalise
yeah.
or?
Equalised, yeah, with that one.
It was in that goal there, wasn't it?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, that one.
And I was
It's not there, isn't it? I just realised it's not there.
But I just remember,
That area.
I just remember sitting there going, they look good. And then obviously we got them in. We then got them in the playoffs, and obviously we went there and lost there as well. And I was sat there just going,
Lost here.
lost
in
here.
the league,
in the league. And I was sat there just going, oh god. But then obviously, like I say, in the playoffs, you kind of sat there just going, it's not going to happen. Unfortunately, they're just a better team. And obviously, we saw how that one went. But yeah, I thought that was one of the worst because you came away and you thought. I was up here in terms of where we were going to be with all the players we had on loan and how we were playing originally, and it didn't go well.
Got a funny story about that game. I wasn't there. I was in Frankfurt on holiday.
Right.
And my mum had got us tickets to the final between Frankfurt and Bayern Munich. It's their like Community Shield. And so this game was going on, that Lawrence game, and I had it on my phone, and I was trying to stream it on my phone using free Wi-Fi everywhere. And Lawrence equalised. Like, yes! And then we were losing. I put it back in my pocket. But my mum was like, right, we've got tickets to the final, we're going to go. And we turned up and it was really quiet. I'm like, where is everyone? And we ended up parking at the ground, but there was like no one there. Where is everyone? Go in the club shop, and they're like, game's tomorrow.
Oh, classic. Classic.
All the way there.
That's a classic, that.
I'm sure she'll appreciate that one.
That's such a classic foreign football match thing to do. Because I've done that. I did it at San Siro. We got there and we were like, yeah, there's no game on today, but you could come for a stadium tour. I was just like, oh, okay, right. Game's tomorrow night.
To be fair, when you were talking about the recent one there with Port Vale, I had a few more spring to mind that just to dampen the mood a little bit more.
Go on.
The game that literally meant nothing, but in the Papa John's Trophy, we lost to Man City's under-21s.
Oh, that was a bad
one. That was low.
What was that striker?
Carlos Borges.
Yeah, he went to Ajax.
Fastest player I've ever seen.
Yeah, he was unreal.
Yeah.
But we lost to an under-21s team.
Yeah.
And at home, and it was a little bit, that was hard.
Scott Loach's last game for Derby.
And then
one and only appearance.
Another cup tie, which again didn't really mean a lot. Crew at home.
I thought you
after drawing away, we bring him back here and then get knocked out at home against Crew. And I think both those two games stand out as like, they're both cup games. They don't really matter that much, but they were both, they were hard to go home and take positives from those two.
I thought Blackpool was also bad. That cup game.
That was what I was going to say.
Oh, go on then. Take it away.
It for that long.
Go on, take it away. Why was Blackpool so bad for you, Jake?
I'll see how many games we can name.
There's a theme here.
Over the past 15 years.
Yeah, go on, Jake. Why was Blackpool
so bad, wasn't it? We just lost to Wigan, and Wigan had played us off the park in League One. Not fun. They'd just come down, and I can't remember who did the preview. I think Jamie did the preview. And
You're right,
it was when we just started doing the previews. It was like a full season.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, we've come down. We've got some good players. We've got some decent players, but they're all so inexperienced and they just were so much better than us. But that Blackpool game, I just remember booing after about 30 minutes. And they were 2 goals up. We hadn't left our half. We'd played a first team. And they were playing like Barcelona. And they were just sort of knocking the ball around. We couldn't get near them. I don't think we had a shot in the whole game. And I thought, oh, God, we're doomed this season.
Bad.
Then we got 92 points. But at that moment, it was definitely a bad one. It sticks in the memory. I thought you were going to say something then. I thought you had something for me.
Just clearing my mic, clearing my throat away from the mic, clearing my mic away from the throat.
Classic podcast.
We're professionals here. We're all professionals here.
I'll tell you what, does anyone have any funny memories from Pride Park? I thought of a couple. And we've got Johnny Russell taking out the old Wigan boss.
Oh, Uwe
Rosler.
Yeah.
That was good. I remember from, I think it was 2013-14, Steve Davis used to play for us. He was playing for Blackpool at the time. And he just picked the ball up, thinking it had gone out for a throw-in. But he just picked the ball up and giving away a free kick just for no reason at all. I was saying, there's been a few funny. I don't know if any.
I've got one before someone steals it. I've got. Do you remember? I think we played Sheff Wednesday. It was in the Rooney season, and they slowed the game down all game, and they kept using a towel to clean the ball. And then we scored late on, and Fozzie went over and got the towel and started cleaning the ball with the towel at the end of the game, right in front of the away fans, which was very funny.
Mine will be quite niche.
Go on.
If anybody listening or watching, the audio viewers can.
Oh, no one's
even
in reference
to
that.
Even in person, I still get the slam.
So we played Blackburn Rovers, if I'm correct, at home, and it must have been about 2016, 2017. And then there was a half-time show, shall we call it, right? And I don't know what this was for, but there was like a fish. And the fish was like dancing. And I was watching it, and I started filming it for some reason. And then like the person who like goes out with the mascot to make sure they don't like fall over or something like that. The fish then ate the person. And then I was like,
yes.
And I was like, what?
Now you've said that. Now you've said that.
Like, what is going on?
It's on YouTube somewhere. There's like someone's posted.
Yeah. Was it your video?
Oh wow.
I posted it like, what is going on? But that is my quite funny one. I'll always remember that. Best half time. Sort of show. Yeah.
We don't have many of them, do we now?
No. Need
Vic,
more.
you got anyone?
Just watching Derby's funny. God, I can't remember anything. The coffee. Well, I was old enough to remember the coffee cup.
Yeah, I remember that.
That speaks for itself. To be fair, I can't remember anything funny.
Do you remember the snowball fight after we beat Forest?
No.
Can't remember when it was. Did we beat them or did we draw to them? And it snowed all day, and outside there was a big snowball fight between the Derby and Forest fans. I remember me and my granddad just sort of like wading through the middle of this, and like the police were like, "No, stop fighting!" And people just launching snowballs at each other over the top. You go on, Cal.
I'll probably speaking of snow. I'll probably say, because I got here when it was happened. It was when the game against Cardiff got postponed, and all I saw was Warnock absolutely losing his mind. But it was just because the Cardiff fans. I don't know if they arrived yet, but then you just looked outside and you just saw no snow, and you just looked outside. And you drove. I think I got to the ground and I was looking around the car park, just going, "How have they managed to pull this off?" Because I can't see anything to turn. And then obviously the whole fanfare after that. But I'll probably say that was quite funny, just because I just remember getting abandoned due to snow and for travel safety, and I was just sat there just going, "I've gotten all right."
Yeah, it was funny because they said the pitch was frozen as well, didn't they? And we have undersoil here.
Yeah.
In fairness, it worked out. Though,
it did. Yeah.
So the rescheduled fixture is probably up there with one of my favourite games. The 3-1. Jerome had that kind of awkward goal where he bundled it in. Jerome scored 2. Didn't he?
He rolled Sean Morrison, didn't he?
Yeah.
He had a habit of scoring weird goals, Jerome.
Weird player, wasn't he? Oh, there we go. There's another talking point then. We are prepared. Who's favourite player you've seen at Pride Park? And what's the best goal you've seen at Pride Park? Or favourite goal?
Can I go first?
Go on.
Just because I'm this end and I always go last.
Oh, you want to talk?
Yeah, I do. I do. I'll go Vidra, and it's just because of the goals that he scores were just some of the outrageous goals here, like in terms of talent. And you kind of sat there going, how has he pulled that off? And especially, I mean, the Forest one, was edged in my memory just because of like, and then the kind of the photos and stuff like that. So I'll probably say Vydra, even though there's probably been more talented players play here. Well, he's probably up there, but I think he's probably one of my favourite players.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a few actually. One of the most underrated players of that 06-07 season was Matt Oakley. I remember him scoring a screamer against West Brom in his goal. I think we were 1-0 down, got the equaliser, went on to win 2-1, and then he scored a scorpion kick.
Yeah, I was going to say that
against Coventry. That was a bizarre goal, but yeah, Matt Oakley always used to come out with the bangers.
The Mason Bennett scorpion. No. Probably just Johnny Russell's goal against Forest, because he was my favourite player when I first started going. It was one of them goals that you always attempt at the park and it flies 30 yards into the bushes. You spend 10 minutes looking for it, but he tried it and it just flew in. And I was sort of the opposite angle to you, Jacob. I was in the north stand, northeast corner, so I was sort of
the noise.
I was in the rowdy end. And I was sort of diagonal to where the ball went. As soon as it left his foot, it looked like it was going in. It was just such a good goal. Probably my favourite one.
Yeah, I'm struggling really to play the goals in my head on memory. I think that a few popped up with the Ravel Morrison goal where he thought it was offside and
Jake's
jinked it. But like,
That was a good goal.
The team play there was really good. And then another one that sticks out is Will Hughes' little heel flick against Brighton in the playoff semis. That stands out. But for favourite player, John Eustace. Love that man. We'll always love that man, no matter who he manages. I hope one day we see him back here in some capacity. But he was just a proper midfielder. He knew what he was doing.
He scored that header against QPR, didn't he?
From
The
about
lob
50 yards away.
as Chris Martin just rugby tackled the keeper out of the way. That was good. I think favourite goal is a really, really niche one. If you remember this, fair play. It was Connor Salmon lob against Middlesbrough, but it wasn't a normal lob. The ball goes into the box. I think it's 0-0 or 1-1. We need to score to win. We're pushing for playoffs.
Was it a night game?
It was a night game. And Shay Given's in goal, so, you know, international goalkeeper, massive pedigree. And the ball goes into the box, it falls to the defender, and he blasts it, and it hits Connor Salmon in the chest and loops over Shay Given and into the top corner. And he's just sort of like... And I think that was his last goal for Derby as well.
Probably his one and only goal.
Probably. No, come on. No Salmon disrespect here.
Feed the fish and he will score.
Right, I think when obviously we recycle Chelsea, Man United, and Liverpool in cup competitions, we always get one of them if we get a big team.
Barrow.
And one of I forget. But I remember one of the games against Manchester United. I think we lost at home 3-1, and it was 2015 kind of time, 15-16, and George Thorne equalised just before the break. I can't remember celebrating a goal that hard. You know, so many people that are Man United fans, and it's sort of, I mean, my friendship group in particular, there's a lot of like Big Six fans, Premier League fans. There's not really many Derby fans in my friendship group. So, especially back then, there were a lot more Man United fans that I knew. And at the time, I was like, we could go and do this. We could get it done with George Thorne as well. Him scoring the goal. It was a good finish too. So that's definitely up there with one of my favourite memories too.
I remember Chris Martin sort of took it on his chest, didn't he, and played it over the top. Sort of a blind on the ball.
Underrated game that was played at 13-14 Yeovil at home.
Yes.
The night game.
2-0 down. Yeah.
I was like, oh no, and then just the comeback was quality, that game.
Do you remember who scored the 2 for Yeovil? I had it, and it's gone.
Was it Paddy Madden or something like that?
No.
I'm sure it was.
This is like a trivia question.
This is a trivia question. Should we know?
Should
we know?
And so you saw my performance on the chase. So.
Well, yeah.
Clayton Donaldson.
Yeah, someone of that ilk.
I don't even know
someone
if he's
like
played
that.
for
Yeah.
like
It was some like lower league hero, and I wrote, it was like the game of his life. And then we came back and won. That was all right, wasn't it?
We scored 5 goals in so many games that season. At home, away from home. I think we put 5 past Fulham twice. Didn't
6
we?
or 7 managers get sacked there after we played them?
Yeah.
We were brilliant back then.
Just enjoying this guy climbing around at the back.
Guest feature.
Martin, new signing.
Don't know where he's going.
I knew you had to get him in here.
God,
He scored some good goals.
he did
He
score
did
some
some,
good goals. I
yeah.
think.
Bristol
Yeah,
City, the brace.
Yeah,
Against Bristol City, that was a good.
hat trick against Blackpool as well.
His goal against Forest with the Baird assist.
Yeah.
Chris
Yeah.
Baird assist.
Oh, we've had some good games, haven't we? We've had some good games.
Good times.
So I know a bit of a debate that'll be fun. Obviously, it's illegal to want ex-players to come back. Oh, no. We're not ever allowed ex-players to rejoin the club. It's awful. No. If you could bring an ex-player back in their finest form, so not in current day, but in their finest form for Derby, who would you bring back?
Steve Bloomer. God,
what you see
just comes out the wall.
Welcome back. Go on, Cal. You answer first. You're over there.
Oh God.
Cal's only seen about 5 games.
I have, yeah. More than Jamie though.
Yeah, well, that's not hard, is it?
White Gale.
No, go on, Vic. You think I'm going to have to think about that one.
I'm surprised no one's mentioned Chris Martin.
Yeah.
Somebody would have said Chris Martin.
We've mentioned him a few times today.
In his prime, he was unplayable though. That 13-14 team, because they Bryson, anyone from that side was brilliant. Me personally though, I got a bit further back. Stimac. We could do with Stimac now. What a player.
I'll go with because he'll fit into the Paul Warne system with running around. Craig Bryson. I think Craig Bryson in this Paul Warne team might have actually done all right, and I think Paul Warne would have been a fan of him because he can run from box to box, and I think he'd probably do well in this. And he obviously can pop a few goals and stuff, but I think we're missing a bit of tenacity.
We've got him, Liam Thompson.
It's very true, very true. But yeah, I'll probably go in the form Craig Bryson.
Do we need to ask Adam? Is it even worth it?
I can go with a niche one.
Nah, go on. Go
with niche. Go niche.
So I'll obviously say Tomlin, obviously, because he's an unbelievable player. But Julian Desart, West Brom away, second half. If he could play like that every week, then he would have been a hero.
Champions League.
But, unfortunately, it didn't really happen.
Throwing Julian Desart's pass when he just picked out Stewart. Yeah, for me, I was thinking about going for Eustace again, but I think pre-injury George Thorne, the loan spell, again, just an unplayable player. I think having him in this squad now, who's a workhorse, he's got people around him, he'd allow players like Houtmain and etc. to flourish. I think, I really loved George Thorne when he was here.
We've got David O's though. No, I agree. I think we've all picked some good players. I think for me, in their prime, probably Rooney.
Not Chris Wheel.
Maybe Chris Wheel.
Rooney's a cheat.
If we're doing prime at Derby, I think Chris Martin, you can't overlook him, can you? I think if we had him now, he would be unbelievable. Bringing the likes of Mendes, Lang, Houtmain into play, it'd be special.
He's literally the player we're screaming out for.
Yeah, it is. Can we sign him? Yeah.
He's injured today.
You fancy it?
Yeah. He's injured, unfortunately.
He's injured. Oh, let's bring him anyway. Why not? Join the list, mate. Get in line. I think if we think a bit further back, probably Steve Howard as well. Maybe more of a retro choice. I'm sorry to anyone that's like 35 and will get upset by me calling him retro. But he's more of a retro choice. Gregor Saragia, just a striker could score goals pretty much. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? That would be nice. Hopefully Jerry Yates can step up and get going, because my God, we need him too.
Caden Jackson, top goal scorer.
Yeah, well,
he's had a good start, to be fair.
He has had a good start. He has had a good start. So yeah, that is it. I'm looking. How many have we done? 43 minutes.
It's pretty bang on, We're getting good at this.
We're getting good at this. It's also roasting.
It is roasting.
It's so hot in here. But right, there we go. Thank you so much. I don't know where I should look now. Do I look at you? Do I look at the camera? Look at the camera. Hello. Thank you so much for listening. If you did enjoy,
what? So we're doing the goodbye from me.
We are, of course, we are. We've got to do it now.
It's now a thing. It's a thing now.
Yeah, you've just got to be quick. You got to be quick on the change.
Stay in harmony together.
Like an Olympic relay.
So, thank you so much for watching or listening, whatever you've done. Audio viewers, all of you, thank you very much. We really appreciate it if you've got this far with all of our waffle for the last 40 or so minutes. It's a massive pleasure to be here. We can't go without saying thank you to FanHub, who've been really good to us. We've helped them out a lot in the past, and now they're helping us out, which is really, really nice. And we're so grateful that they've done that. It's nice, isn't it? It was weird. We walked in and we sort of had a look around, and we're in the box and you got a view of the pitch, and it's a little bit surreal to be here and to be holding these silly microphones waffling about Derby. So we're very grateful to everyone that's helped us get to this point. If you did enjoy, please do leave a like, please do subscribe. If you want more of our stuff in real life, I'm sure we can do it. we'll sort some stuff out. We're trying to do some more content that's not just talking this season as well. So we'll see what we come up with. And if we come up with nothing, you just know we came up with nothing good. So yeah, please leave us a rating as well if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Pods. We really appreciate that. So from Pride Park Stadium, it is goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Just hold it to his mouth.
Long may it continue. Goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
We will see you soon. Bye.